your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Put some respect on my name.
First and foremost, my numbers are better than 15, 16 or so guys that are currently in the Hall.
Here's the handoff to Taylor, looking for some cut back. He finds some room, looking at Fred go. He's across the 30, look at him run. Fred's going. He's at the 50, the 40.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
20, 10, 5, touchdown. 80 yards, Fred Taylor.
Talking modern day guys at my position.
When my name come up, respect it. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna right on it.
And here's the handoff to Fred, looking for the cutback. He's got room right in the middle, 10. Fred's there. He's at the 20. Fred's on the run to the 25 to the 30. He's going 40. Fred 50. Fred 40. Fred 30. Fred 25, 20.
Y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
You look at the guys that are in the Hall of Fame from a defensive standpoint. Ray Lewis, Derrick Brooks. Look at all these other guys they're trying to put in the Hall of Fame.
Gerard on the kick. Here's Taylor.
Put some respect.
Busting through. Fred Taylor making the cut. Taylor is gone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
These the same dudes that I murked every Sunday.
When my name come up, respect it. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna right on it.
But he knows he doesn't have a big play team, and Jacksonville does. Draw play. Taylor skips 2 tackles. Right, and here we go. Yeah. Bye-bye. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. Gets help from Smith. Touchdown. No flags. A 90-yard run.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everyone. We've made it through at least the weekday portion of the week, the weekend to come, and hopefully that'll give you a little time to get your mentals in order after the week that was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got playoff football coming up, 6 games. They moved the Rams game to Arizona. Very wisely, it appears, with those wildfires raging all over L.A. right now. So you'll get that. That's going to be the Monday night affair regardless. Tony, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing well.
I didn't even realize. Did you watch Abdul Carter and Penn State play last night?
Most of it, yeah.
Did not know, Tom, until I turned on SportsCenter this morning that game was last night.
Oh, really?
That's how not tuned into the college playoff I am. That's just me.
Yeah.
You know, and I probably would have watched it if I'd realized I turned on SportsCenter and they're like, the second of the semifinal games will be played tonight. I'm like, when's the first one going to get played this afternoon?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but
it was a great game. I didn't make it the whole way. I had my last cookie and milk right around mid-third quarter, and then it was night time.
That's
but
right
prior
when
to
it
that,
started.
Yeah, it was good. Well, the first half was good.
Yeah, right after you went to bed, that's when everyone started scoring. Like, they took the lid off the end zones, but it took 3 quarters, basically, for that to happen.
And somebody, and it wasn't the first person to do it, but it just caught my eye. Terrence, who's a listener, not Mike. Not that Terrence. Okay, another Terrence. We love all of our Terrence listeners out there. Right?
Bad Tony.
Hey, pockets. Hey. See, now I'm saying that as him, so that is not a quarter in your jar, all right? Because that was past reference to the P name. I paid $1 already because I've already blown it once, so there's a quarter, and I figured let's just get ahead of it. I'm gonna forget again.
You got some credit.
Yeah, no doubt. So anyway, Terrence said, "Hey, there's our pick at number 5. Let's presume he's there. Number 5, Abdul Carter." My reply immediately was, "Who are you putting on the bench?" Because you've got Josh Hines down, you got Trayvon Walker, you got Abdul Carter, and his reply to that was, "Let's go to a 3-4 and play Trayvon as a 3-4 end," which. To me, could he pull it off? I think he probably could add the weight to do it. He's probably too light to do it right now compared to the average guy who plays the position.
What's he weigh?
I'm guessing about 285. Okay? He came in at like 272.
Okay.
I know he's bulked up a little bit, right? Yeah. Most 3-4 ends in the NFL, I went through some depth charts. Most of them are 300, 305.
Moses 300.
Something like that. Is he?
Yeah, Joey is.
Okay.
Yeah, not Nick, but I think Joey is.
Yeah, that's who I knew who you were talking about there. So anyway, I think he would need to beef up. I think Mason Smith could be an outstanding
got to get a nose
3-4 end.
You don't have one.
But I look, I'm not saying you can't be effective running a 3-4, right? I mean, it feels like the team tried to shift its personnel to fit into a 4-3.
They did that with him, and Trayvon was an outside linebacker.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but in this case, if you're drafting Abdul Carter, like Abdul Carter's going to be a talked about guy a lot, right? Like he's going to be the best pass rusher in the draft.
He's not playing 3-4 end.
Correct.
Like, there's no chance that guy's doing
that.
But
is that the best use of your resources? I'm not saying it is or it isn't.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting. Like, you know, you always say you can't have enough pass rush, and there are guys like Cameron Hayward, right? He plays end in a 3-4, and he gets sacks. You can get sacks as a 3-4 end, but I feel like your primary responsibility is more like all the linemen in a 3-4 lineman. You correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, you have the playing experiences. You're more of hold the point of attack to let those linebackers make the plays.
Yeah. And if, look, you get double team, you got to hold the double team and not let that guy off. If you do let him off, then you better make the play. That's basically what that is. But listen, the 3-4 is not going to work without a nose, and there's not a nose on the roster right now that can play that nose tackle. I don't think. You need a hydrant. You need a fire hydrant in that middle to clog up that middle. Because if that don't work, they can run on you, and it's really hard to defend the run when the nose is in your lap. So we'll see. Look, I think I was just going through some things with the podcast, just like who I'm upgrading. I'll tell you, man, I look at that interior line from. And not just the interior, but I look at like Lacey, Ledbetter, Hamilton, Abdullah, and Cole. Now, Cole's still young, so maybe you give him another chance. But I think you can upgrade all those guys. And you got to add that beef to the interior of that defensive line. I mean, we were just thirsty for it. Now, we run a 4-3, and you got Josh, you got Eric, who's now going to play tackle, and then you got Mason Smith, and then Trayvon. That's a formidable line. I mean, that's a really formidable 4-3, front four. And then you bring guys off the bench to spell them. But Abdul Carter, look, he looks light to me, but, man, can he get around the corner ridiculously fast? I don't know if you're taking someone number 5 to come off the bench to rush the passer.
Well, that was my point, right? You better have a plan to have that guy on the field a lot.
Right. And, look, in today's day and age, they do spread you out. So maybe, you know what I mean? They run those kind of offenses. Maybe you can get him out there more than not, but he can definitely get to the QB.
Why is Devon Hamilton not seen as more of an answer in that kind of circumstance? He's listed as 335.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
He's a big guy.
What does he need to do?
Stay low.
Or can he? Is that what it is? Is it just
leverage.
technique?
Listen, it's leverage. And you see him. Now, listen, I think out of those 5 I named, he had the best year. I do think Devon Hamilton he made some plays this year, but he also got blocked down field 10 yards, 5 yards, a lot. All those 3 interior guys that I named. So I think he gets too tall. I think Mason Smith got better at it as the year went along, but he gets too tall. And when you get tired, you want to do what? You want to stand up. And I know Devon's not.
I like to lay down myself.
You want to stand up to catch your breath.
At least sit.
And then they take you for a ride. It's not easy. I mean, I could have never played defensive line. I was never built for it. But
what about Jordan Jefferson as a nose?
I don't know. He seems not big enough for a 3-4 nose. I think he could come off the bench and play one of those inside defensive tackles. And don't get me wrong, one of those interior D linemen do line up over the center. They shade him in a 4-3. You know what I mean? So it's not like, but a pure nose is typically on the center. They may shade a little bit, but you're getting double teamed every single snap, without question. So,
all right. Well, just one thing that came up, I thought it was interesting, and nevertheless, as we kind of slide into draft season.
Well, listen, Hines Allen had a phenomenal year as a 3-4 outside backer.
He did. I'm not dismissing it out of hand. I'm just saying.
I'm not either. But you got to have a nose, I think. You really got to invest in a nose.
The things, and based on the personnel that you've already invested in, is that your best use of Trayvon Walker?
Right.
Who you've got, who's had back-to-back double-digit sack seasons.
Doing it either way.
Right. But doing it as a 4-3 end or a 3-4 outside linebacker, not as a 3-4 end.
No, I know, but he's done it as a 3-4 outside backer and a 4-3 defensive end back-to-back. So he could play outside, too.
He could.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're drafting Abdul Carter, 5th overall, you're not drafting him to come off the bench.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't know. I mean, pass rush is king. What if he got you 11 sacks? Would you care how many snaps he took?
Can he get you 11 sacks
I don't know.
in that scenario? No, and is it, and if we're going to go that route, like the Kyle Van Noys of the world always seem that there's always two or three of these guys that fit the 3-4 outside linebacker mold, I feel, that end up with around 9 to 11 sacks as free agents every year. And they're not long-term answers, but they're pretty good short-term answers.
That's right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's a question that the Jags would have to think about if that's a guy that they like at 5, right? Like, we really like Abdul Carter at 5. How do we feel about playing Trayvon Walker as the 3-4 end?
Yeah, if you go 3-4.
Right. And how dominant do we think we could be if we had those 3 guys as our primary guys on the field at the same time, right? And you have to figure out what you're going to do at nose, Tommy. I think you're right. But I think it's easier to figure that out if you have 3 guys that you feel like can dominate the way that they'd have to feel that way about it, though. It's like we put Trayvon at defensive end in 3-4, watch what he's going to do.
Yep.
Like, that's a big problem for someone else to have to deal with. We've talked about him since he got here as a 3 technique, right? Like, I think he could be dominant in that kind of position. I don't know that that's the best spot for him to play to be the most dominant, but with where they're at 5 and this draft, if they feel like Carter is that type of guy, he's one we need that we can play on the opposite side of Josh in a 3-4, and we play this guy at end, you got to evaluate all those
you make
things.
a good point. Listen, maybe Mason Smith could be your nose. I mean, he's big enough.
I think he's like the prototypical 3-4 end.
He is, but I mean, you got Armstead, who would be one of your ends, right, in the 3-4. He's around for a year.
For a year, sure.
And then you could, if you had Armstead, Mason, Trayvon, Josh on one side, Abdul Carter or something, you know what I mean? That could maybe work.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, it's just interesting. And we're going to have options. There's going to be a lot of these different permutations we look at. And, when you advocate for a guy, totally fine. We love to hear that kind of feedback.
Right.
Just figure out based on what they have. And we don't know what the next defensive coordinator is going to bring in terms of his desired play style as well. So that will answer a lot of questions. But also, the London home teams have been announced for next year. Jacksonville, the New York Jets, and the Cleveland Browns will host games in London. If you presume that the Jags are not going to play in Europe outside of London, right, which Shad Khan has always tried to make this London's team, so to speak, then we're not going to play in Berlin. We're not going to play in Frankfurt. We're not playing one of those games in Germany. The Jags are only going to be playing one game overseas this year, it appears. Good. Now, in odd-numbered years, AFC teams have 9 home games, because the unbalanced schedule. So the Jags will have, it looks like, 8 home games here, and all their road games will be in the States.
Okay.
So it appears. Because they play the Jets, but they play them here, and they don't play the Browns next year.
Okay.
So that's where things stand as of right now. All right. Yes, we're going to get Tom McManus's reaction to all the news of the week. Jags firing Doug Peterson, at least for now, electing to keep the status quo with the front office. We'll go through some of the coaching candidates. We'd love to take your calls, comments, questions, observations about Jaguar football. You can do that on the Garber Automall phone lines at 641-1010. Same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. If you want to hop on board, you can get in the YouTube chat, the virtual studio chat right there, or you can hit us up on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Meathead55, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
Young Dylan, how are things today? Everything
good?
Yeah?
There's another college football playoff tonight. Ohio State plays. Jeremiah Smith is pretty good at football. You might want to keep
that
an eye
one.
on him.
Yeah, I'm well aware of Jeremiah. I was aware of Abdul Carter. I just didn't know he was playing last night because that's me. I'm like, if it's not on my agenda, like those are. I guess I'm at the point with the college football playoff where if it's on and I know and I'm there, I'll watch that. Sure, absolutely. But I guess it has not been appointment viewing for me.
I normally watch the big college games.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, I normally put them on because they're fun to watch.
Right.
Typically.
I mean, look, the NFL so dominates what I do.
Without it.
In terms of my own interest, but in terms of, this show is all NFL. Everything I do on SiriusXM is NFL related, so college is like a luxury, and that's fine, And anyway, we'll talk to you about Jaguar football today. If you want to be a part of the program, you know the ways to do it. Tommy Mack is here with all of his opinions from the week that was. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. You know what? Dandy's got some great hot breakfast items, warm breakfast items, whatever you like when it comes to breakfast items. They got a full array of breakfast menu options for you if you swing around. You know breakfast, yes, it can be the most important meal of the day. Start you off right. It can also be delicious at 11 p.m., depending on what you're hungry for. I love the French toast. They've got great buttermilk biscuits, soft flaky croissants, tasty maple waffles, sizzling country sausage, black forest ham, thick sliced bacon, peppered fried eggs, creamy Wisconsin cheddar cheese, and on it goes, and all the many different combinations they can put together. That's just one area of the Dandy menu. Swing into an area gate station, head to the fresh case, look for breakfast items, look for protein packs, look for sandwiches, subs, easy on the go. If you want something on the go in Duval that'll fill you up and not weigh you down, Dandy's the name to know. So do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. Do it today.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Caesar is pleased to bring you the only undefeated champion in Roman history, the legendary
1010XL.
When the heat's on high or the chill is too much, who you gonna call? Cool Cats Heating and Cooling is locally owned and operated with a perfect touch. You'll keep your home just right, day or night. AC to heating, don't take a beating. Call the coolest cats in town. With a 5-star Google rating, they're your neighbors, ready to help. So get your paw of approval from Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. CoolCatsJacks.com.
Need extra cash for the holidays? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is always buying guns, musical instruments, surfboards, and tools, and pays cash money. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Kick off the new year with a new look for your home. It's the Renewal by Anderson New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% on their energy-efficient windows and patio doors, designed to keep your home comfortable all year. Plus 0 down, no payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The 8th-ranked Florida Gators absolutely dominated the top-ranked Tennessee Volunteers 73-43, handing the Vols their first loss of the season. The 30-point victory is the third-largest win over a #1 ranked team in Division I basketball history, and the Gators' first-ever home win against the top-ranked team. The Gators now head to Arkansas to take on the Razorbacks this Saturday at Ford.
D1 Training East Jacksonville invites you to their mega NFL football camp at the Bowl School February 1st from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Ages 7 through 16. Get hands-on coaching from former NFL players at every single station. The coaches lineup put together by Connor and Sam at D1 is proudly sponsored by Tim Tebow. To sign up, call 904-901-6470.
I'm Max Fink on your Gator station. 1010XL is your pipeline to Gator Nation. Listen to the Gator Report all year round.
Freshened up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators. 1010XL.
Go, Gator!
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjax.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mac in the Middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, Tommy Mack here with us. Before we get into the calls, which are lining up to jump in, have their opinion heard or questions asked and whatnot, were you surprised at Shad Khan's decision to split it up the way he did? Fire Doug Peterson, and you can presume most of the coaching staff will go. Yeah. That'll be up to the new incoming head coach, and retain Trent Baalke.
I'm not surprised by anything anymore that Shad Khan does, and I wasn't really surprised that he kept Trent. I thought if you were going to keep Trent, though, that you'd keep Doug for one more year and see how that played out. But look, the team hasn't been very good. As an owner, you got to do something. Look, when he did that extension for Little in December, I was like, that just seems strange. Like, if you're going to fire the GM, you'd really let him do that? Like, you believe that he's, the answer, and you're going to, not that it was a huge amount of money, but still extended him. So, I don't know. That doesn't surprise me. I know the fans are in an uproar. Look, I wish I could settle you down because I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't want to be disrespectful to the owner at all, but I don't feel like, I feel like he's listening maybe to the wrong people is what I feel like. Now, I don't know his whole circle at all. Obviously, I know it's Trent Baalke.
He listed it as Trent Baalke, the current coaching staff, and Ethan Wall, who's Baalke's assistant GM.
Right.
That's what he said.
Yeah. I mean, which is crazy to think that a billionaire would just rely on that and not have like I don't know, check it out another source, get a third party.
Even if you don't name them, just say, hey, look, I've got my people I talk to bounce things off of. Yeah. I'm not going to name because if you're let's say Shad Khan was somebody's person, right? And they bounce ideas off Shad Khan, whatever, and you're like, why are you bouncing them off the owner of another team? If you don't even have to name the names, just say I have a circle. Yeah. But it seemed like he was like almost flummoxed, like Doug Peterson. Like, you just fired him.
Right.
How's he in your inner circle?
And the whole, I got to fire 85 people or something. What is that all about? That's just nuts. So I don't know. I just don't have a lot of faith in that. And I think if I were to say something to Shad Khan, I'd say, you got to figure out what's your standard? Like, what is the organization's standard? What is their identity? What kind of team do you want? Not talent-wise, just what kind of team do you want to have? And what kind of coach and leader do you want to have running that team? Because you got to match it up. So, I don't know. I'm not surprised that Doug got fired. I thought the record, the last 23 games were terrible. I'm not surprised that Trent didn't get, because I just felt like he's in with the owner, and the owner thinks, and look, the thing about Trent is he's made some good picks. He's made some bad picks. I think what really kind of tells the story, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I don't think I am. But Eric Armstead coming out saying, now I'm going to play defensive tackle on the day that the coach gets fired was really fishy to me. It was like, why would you do it then? And B, didn't you know last year that it was better for you to play inside? You had to have known. Now you're saying like it was a coach.
And he's acting like he wanted to play inside all along.
I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all.
I've heard the coaching staff say differently. So
well, and when he first got here, he's like, no, I was recruited as an end. They came after me as an end. It was not to play inside, at least from the GM standpoint. Now I'm going to play. So anyway, I just feel like that kind of toxicity is what Trent Baalke does when he's ready to move on from whoever. You know what I mean? And Doug became the scapegoat, but at the same time, you got to win in this league, and they weren't doing that.
All right, let's get a few calls rolling here at 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. Greg on the north side first up this morning. Hello, Greg.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. I have two questions, and I would like to hear your answers off the air. My first one would be, do you think it would be a good idea to move up from 5 to get Travis Hunter? You think he's worth it? Second one is, here's my thing. Tommy Mack's been around long enough. You were with Wayne Weaver and everything. I really don't like Baalke, and I'm really angry about the way Schott did the firing of Peterson over a Zoom call. I mean, to me, it's like you come down in front of your fans, you come down in front of the reporters, you come down and you stand there like a man, like an owner, and you answer questions and you answer those tough questions and tell us, what do you stand for? Because so far, from what I can tell from Schott, only thing Schott cares about is his hotel properties and the development of Jags. All right, y'all have a great day. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Is there
know
a question in there?
I don't think that was a question.
But a statement.
Yeah. Personally, for me, I don't see trading. I mean, if it's like a minimal price type situation,
It depends what it is. Yeah.
To trade up in the top 5 for any player is usually an exorbitant price. Right. And what is Travis Hunter going to be? And we had Tony Pauline join us the other day, right? He says he thinks he's a wide receiver. Can dabble as a corner.
Yeah.
Most people think he's a corner who can dabble as a wide receiver. Right. Is he? Look, his value in great part. Look, he's a great player if he just played one side or the other. Yep. But he's not winning the Heisman if he's playing just one or the other, right? He is considered the prospect he is because he was a two-way guy. Yeah. I don't think that's going to be the case in the National Football League.
Yeah, I don't.
Not to anywhere close to the degree he did in college.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're at 2 or whatever, maybe that'd be your guy. I think at 5, I don't know, man. I need some beef. I need some beef up front. I think that's where we're
Travis
lacking.
Hunter is sitting there at 5. Would you take him?
If he's sitting there at 5 and it don't cost me anything, I'd probably take him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's the most electrifying in the at least. And I don't know the draft. I don't know the draft.
Which is why as we sit here and go, man, always want to win. Well, I hope that those wins against Tennessee filled your belly with warmth because it cost you the number 1 pick in the draft. Lose one of those games.
Yeah.
I mean, the season's already over. I'm not saying, again, that the players are supposed to go out there and try to lose, right? Just if the result had gone that way, you'd be sitting in the catbird seat deciding, do we want Travis Hunter?
Right.
Or do we want somebody to pay us off to go and get a quarterback and maybe still get Travis Hunter?
Right.
Or do we want any player other than that that we want here?
Well, and totally agreed. The flip side of that is at 5, you should hopefully get a really good player.
Absolutely.
That's going to help your team.
Absolutely. But you don't get additional paid off and every other round. Yep. Although it does kind of shift.
It flips around.
Right. It does flip around in the ensuing rounds.
With the same
teams that are
record,
tied.
Back to the car, because I was trying to think what he said in the beginning. I thought, now, I don't know why was there a reason they had to do that press conference Zoom? Like was shot like in, I don't know, overseas or something?
I don't know.
That was kind of Bush League. Like, you just fired your coach, you're addressing the media, and you do it Zoom. You know what I mean? It just seems so, I don't know, unprofessional to me.
Did he do a season-ending press conference like that after when they were having the coaching search for Doug Peterson after the Urban Miller?
I don't remember.
I don't
disaster.
remember.
Yeah. I don't even remember if he did one at all.
Well, I don't know, but I think he should have been there, and I don't know. Whatever. It's over now. I mean, look, you can feel how you want. I'm to the point, it's not going to change, at least for now. And I'm going to support who they bring in as the head coach. And
absolutely.
And regardless of who that is,
I'm going to hope they
hit it right.
Let's get our friend Regina up next here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Regina.
Good morning. Good morning, guys. Tommy Mack, you already answered a lot of what I was going to ask you to pull together. It's a dysfunctional family that needs some sort of psychotherapy, and they're not getting it. John's going to do what he wants when he wants. D-Rock said they need to have an identity. If Ball keeps calling the shots, how can they get any sort of identity, even if a coach comes in? Number two, you said something on Hacker After Dark one of the evenings that there are divas in the locker room.
Yep.
And, I'd like you to comment on Trevor's press conference. Did you watch him at all? Did you listen to him about, he wants a young offensive coordinator kind of guy? To me, I'm just like you. I have no faith that anything's going to change because the person who's driving it is bulky, and he's not a coach, and yet he's out there on the field with a whistle. So I'll take all of your comments off the air. And I wish I could say go Jags, but I am not optimistic. Have a good weekend.
Time heals wounds, Regina. It'll heal, and we'll get excited again once we figure out what direction we're going. Where should I start? She had a lot in there.
Why don't you gather your thoughts? We're past time to get a break here, and we'll come back and let you comment on any of that you want to weigh in on. The rest of you on the line, stay there. We'll get to you at 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Open enrollment is here, so it's time to secure health coverage for your family. Whether you need Affordable Care Act plans, dental, or Medicare, contact Florida First Insurance Group on University Boulevard, an award-winning Florida Blue agency well known for providing superior service. Theo Mitchelson and his team at Florida First make the process easy and stress-free with medical and dental insurance you can count on. Plus, listen to this. Based on eligibility, many people pay absolutely nothing for coverage. Contact Theo Mitchelson and the Florida First Insurance Group today and let your health be their priority. And a reminder for Florida Blue members, visit Sanitas Medical Center with 3 locations in town offering primary care, walk-in services, and on-site pharmacy and mental health support. SANITAS Medical Center, Florida First Insurance Group, and Sanitas Medical Center, a winning team in Northeast Florida.
Coke Florida congratulates the Jacksonville Jaguars on a great 2024 season. As the local Coca-Cola bottler celebrating 10 years of business, Coke Florida is proud to be the Jags' official beverage partner. From the season kickoff to the final touchdown, Coke Florida's 5,000 associates and passionate fans have cheered on the Jags all season long. Coke Florida and the Jags tackle game day with great taste.
If you're watching football this season, you know anything can happen. And on Hard Rock Bet, we mean anything. One fan in South Florida turned a $1 touchdown parlay into a $40,000 payday. Hard Rock Bet has parlays for days. With flex parlays, now you can even miss a few picks and still get paid. Parlays for every kind of play. Only on Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. When your first bet or get up to $100 back in bonus bets. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
The Jacksonville Icemen are back home this Friday and Saturday for Lizard Kings weekend. The Icemen throw it back to the 90s and pay tribute to the Lizard Kings by wearing special themed jerseys and a Lizard King bobblehead giveaway for the first 1,000 fans for Saturday's game. So relive your days from the Reptilian Pavilion Friday and Saturday at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Game time 7 o'clock. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksIceman.com, or call 904-602-POP. Iceman Hockey is #Frozen Frenzy.
Today. Hunters Know Patience is part of the game.
Just got to keep hunting.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnit Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Huddle up this season at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. Serving up the flavors you crave, from refreshing new cocktails to famous wings. Always better with Pepsi. Find 6 Jacksonville locations at hurricanewings.com.
Have a group trip or company function soon? Mark Watson here with Hardball Creative. Get busy ordering the t-shirts and other swag you'll need. It's easy with Hardball.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Here's Ben and John Lupo, owners of Beards Diamonds.
It's funny, my dad has sold people engagement rings, and now I'm selling their kids engagement rings and anniversary gifts and birthday gifts.
We're blessed with the relationships we've built over the years.
Check out our full inventory at beardsdiamonds.com.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
It's New Year's resolution time, so why not skip the guilt and do something you'll actually stick to, like fixing that leaky faucet, unclogging that drain, or getting your AC ready for the summer.
Duck Duck Rooter is here to help you keep this resolution. Investing in your home.
Start the year off right with Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Call us today at 904-862-6769. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren here for Big Chief Tire. Tax season is the perfect time to invest in your vehicle. Use your refund to tackle overdue tire replacements, brake repairs, or routine maintenance. Big Chief Tire's skilled technicians ensure every dollar counts, keeping your car running strong. With 5 convenient locations around town, fair prices, and trusted expertise, they've got you covered. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Now, any good lineup needs power. When I needed a power connection for our new Walk-Off Charities baseball park, I found the perfect partner in Ricketts Electric. You're going to love these guys, I'm telling you. The Ricketts family has been providing commercial and residential electric service for years. So call my buddy Zach Ricketts today at 904-320-5960, and you can find them on Facebook as well. You will trust them. That's Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them today at 320-5960.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jag quarterback Trevor Lawrence expressed his appreciation for his former head coach, Doug Peterson.
It's not all just on one person, and I'm very grateful for Coach and what he's done here and done for me.
One of the hottest head coaching candidates, Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, might have a sticking point when it comes to the Jags, revealed SI reporter Albert Breer on Into the Night with Rick Ballou.
I think he finds the job attractive, but I think it would be under certain circumstances. I think he'd want to bring in his own general manager.
Former Jag and NFL Network reporter Bucky Brooks remarked on Trevor Lawrence as a drawing card for a new head coach.
Where does Trevor Lawrence fit in that situation? Is Trevor more like Josh Allen or more like someone that is in the middle of the pack?
At your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguar Update, I'm Sam Nelson.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, Tom, before the break, Regina had a lot to say, ask, put out there into the world. How do you react to it?
I love the music first and foremost, so thanks for calming us down there, Dylan. We appreciate that. Let's see. Can you build it with Balky? Listen, I do think that the job of the GM is to fill that locker room with the right players that can thrive under the coach. So I think he's got to do a better job of that. But, yeah, I think you can build a culture. It depends who the coach comes in. It depends who the players are and what they're going to do inside that locker room and out on the field, you know, and if they can figure that out, maybe that's a good thing. As far as Trevor, look, I think he should have a say. But, you know, one thing I think and maybe we are, but this defense was horrendous last year. Your defensive coordinator decision, whoever that may be, is just as big as who's going to be the head coach. Maybe not just as big, but very important as to what kind of coach you get in here. I know everyone's thinking OC with Trevor and everything, and I understand that, and I think Trevor should have a say in that. But let's not forget what really cost this team in 2024, and it was the defense. I mean, the defense struggled all year long. They were absolutely terrible pretty much all year long. The stats prove that. The eye test proves it.
All right. Trevor Lawrence, Regina reference, wants a young offensive mind, that kind of thing. Here was Trevor's response yesterday when asked what he would be looking for in a new head coach.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm an offensive guy. I'm a quarterback. So I think from that standpoint, sounds great having a young offensive coach that can, bring the system in and that we can just grow together and have that system in place for years to come. That sounds great. That from that standpoint, that would be great. But I think just as far as a leader, you want the right guy that's going to be the right leader and voice for your team and set that culture and, just to be a tough.
The attitude's got to change. So I'm going. I hear what Trevor's saying. We instill that toughness. Well, you can only do it with accountability, and the players got to be ready for true, genuine accountability. And you make a mistake, you clean it up, you don't make it again. You don't make it all year long with no ramifications. So, I agree with Trevor. I mean, look, whoever they bring in, I just want to make sure that they are a coach that is going to make sure these guys are held accountable, doing their job every single play. And guess what? When they do that, you mitigate bad plays, mistakes, that type of thing, and you do develop some grit.
All right, let's go back to the lines here. Justin on the north side, next on Jaguars Today. Go ahead, Justin.
Hey, guys. Appreciate y'all taking my call. Appreciate what y'all do. I'll try to be really quickly. In regards to what Trevor said yesterday, a couple things that struck me. One was that they were shocked about them letting Doug go. That tells me that he may not have as much influence that we might want him to. Secondly, my question is this. What coaches do y'all know? I mainly want to ask about Cliff Kingsbury that would bring what y'all just described, a coach with accountability that's going to bring the best out of them, make them dogs. What coaches available out there that y'all know could do that? Thank you very much. Okay. And appreciate the therapy that you provide for all us men who are too tough to get therapy ourselves. Thank you.
All right.
So with the first year candidates, they've never been head coach, you're not going to know until you get them in, right? You just, you can
by
say,
reputation.
well, Ben comes from Detroit, so he's going to bring that down. That sometimes works. Sometimes it doesn't always work.
I think more of Aaron Glenn bringing that from Detroit.
Oh, Aaron Glenn, I could see that. I think a guy like Vrabel would bring that. I saw they're going to interview Spagnuolo. I'm not totally, but he would bring that. I think Flores would bring that.
Mostly defensive guys.
Yeah.
That's really what it, right? I mean, that's
who's available right now.
But I'm saying mostly we envision that attribute, that toughness, that leadership, that, we're going to instill this and comes from the defensive side because that's more of a defensive mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Offense, you can
Seems to be,
a little bit more. I'm not saying you can't because Dan Campbell's the tight end, right? And it was the tight end's coach. So I'm not saying it's 100% across the board. I'm just saying in general.
There's that idea, offense is finesse, defense is attitude. Like that's just kind of an attitude that there is across the league, Tommy. So, the Jags are going to get the opportunity to talk to Ben Johnson tomorrow.
Yep.
Right? They're going to be the fourth of the four teams that Ben's going to talk to, but they're going to have an opportunity to talk to him. So, as someone who's never been in that position before, Johnson, he hasn't been a head coach. So, obviously, you want to gauge how comfortable he is with Trent Baalke, which he has to have some level of comfort. Otherwise, I don't know why he'd even do the interview, right?
Yep.
But you gauge that. But beyond that, what can you ask Ben Johnson to get some idea of the kind of attitude that you would like to see him bringing into the team?
How are you going to run my team? How are you going to hold them accountable? So I'd use last year as an example. I'd be like, well, last year, we made mistake after mistake, game after game. We lost games pretty much the same way, 9 games or whatever it was, kind of the same way. How are you going to fix that? What are you going to do to make sure that these guys don't make mistakes, that, don't have missed assignments, that aren't out of position, that know the routes, that know the coverage, right? I mean, we talked, it happened all year long. Like, how are you going to fix that? And really important to me, who's your DC? Who's the guy? Who are you bringing in with you? Like, or who are the candidates? Who are you looking at?
I'm sure he's got a list.
Maybe he does. Yeah, right. So you'd want to know that kind of stuff because I do think that, and again, if it's a defensive guy, I want to know who his OC is before I even sign off on that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, who are you bringing in with you? Like, what are you going to do with my offense? How are you going to make Trevor better? How are you going to make the offense better? How are you going to get this running game going? Because the running game, the zone blocking scheme, whatever we were doing, it wasn't consistent enough. It wasn't good enough. Like, how are you gonna fix all that type of stuff? You know what I mean? So it's more than just. I know everyone gets into like the hot name, and
Sure.
maybe so, maybe great, but and again, one thing we're never a part of, guys, is the interview. You're never in the room.
No.
So you never know. Like, well, why didn't he get that job? He should have got that job. Look at his. Well, maybe his interview stunk. Maybe he just didn't impress anybody.
By the way, you see what Belichick said like 2 weeks ago? He said in all the times he interviewed for coaching jobs, they almost never asked him about football. He said Al Davis is the only one who knew enough to ask him about schemes, personnel. And it's mostly like, yeah, how you going to get along with that? You know, it's like he goes really. There's so little actual football. That's from Belichick. Yeah. Now maybe that's changed over the years. He hasn't done many coaching interviews in a long time, but that kind of struck me as it makes a lot of sense because at least from the ownership, they don't know as much football as the guys that they're interviewing.
Right.
No, or at least they shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, in most cases.
Yeah.
Here's Trevor yesterday because this was referenced on what his reaction was when he found out that Doug Peterson was fired.
As a player, it's weird, especially given the history with Coach and being here and having success early. I think it's difficult to look at where we're at now at the end of this season and take it for what it is and be like, man, it was just such a rough year and tough on every regard. Injuries, not winning games, that's just tough on a team. So I think as a player, you look at it and you understand that's part of the business, but you're also disappointed and you feel some responsibility because as a player, you have impact on the game. You know, it's on us as well. So I think you see it and it's unfortunate, I guess is the best way to put it, just because you feel like you wish you could have done more and you wish you would have won more games. If you asked any of us going into this season, no one would have thought Coach Peterson would have been fired at the end of the year, and you just see the way the year went, and it's just disappointing. So I think it's a weird feeling, but you do understand it's part of the business, and you have to continue to get better. And for whatever reason this year, we didn't do that, and that's not, I think there's a lot of things at play regarding that, and it's not all just on one person. And I'm very grateful for Coach and what he's done here and done for me. My rookie year was really tough and a lot of chaos and turmoil and just a really crazy situation, and for him to come in and provide stability and to kind of revive our team a little bit and be that consistent piece and voice for us. He's done a lot of great things here, so I don't want that to be overshadowed by obviously a tough and disappointing finish to.
Yeah, look, and through all that, unless he said it in a different part, but this is where he was directly referencing his reaction to Doug Peterson. He didn't say shocked. He didn't say he was shocked. Yeah. Disappointed, probably surprised based on what they thought they were going to be based on the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But if Trevor Lawrence is surprised that this happened, I would be shocked. Like, what is he, living with his head in the sand? I mean, he had to know that this was a distinct possibility for this football team.
Yeah.
I didn't get the sense that this blindsided him at all.
No. Go ahead, Tom.
No, I think the season blindsided him.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what he said. The reaction is, I didn't expect this kind of thing to happen. It's on us.
But I think what our caller was suggesting is that Trevor was, oh my gosh, he was shocked that this happened.
He's shocked that it went so badly that they put everyone's job in jeopardy.
Right. He's shocked at the way it played out, but I don't think at the end of the year, he's shocked that this happened.
No.
Here, at least.
I didn't get that sense from that at all.
Well, look, guys, the reality is, whether we believe in play calls or whatnot, but if they executed 50% better, they wouldn't be in this situation. So it is a lot on the players, and you should feel a little bit bad.
Yeah, they're probably not firing the coach if they won 7.
Right.
Probably not. They still could.
They could, but I doubt it. No way. Not after 9-8, and then you go 7 and whatever, 10. I think you get another shot at the title, right? At least try. So, but then it'll turn into excitement. Right now, even with Trevor, he's probably thinking, man, okay, well, who are they going to get? Who are they? I hear these games. I'm going to go check them out. I mean, I know most of them, like what kind of offense we're going to run, guys that are same on defense. We're going to play 3-4. We're going to play a 4-3. This is all new. Guys that are in the bubble. Do I even have a job? Like, what if this new coach comes in and doesn't like what I have to offer? You know what I mean? I mean, these are a lot of like uncertainties, but then the other side of it is like, man, I can't wait to see who the new head coach is. Like, ooh, this is going to be, oh, wait, we're talking to who, you know what I mean? And maybe that kind of stuff. So I went through it at BC, right? Before Coughlin came in, they fired Jack McNell and the whole staff my third year. And you did feel bad, man. They you know, we liked them. We just didn't win. You know, just because you don't win doesn't mean you dislike the coach. Now, you didn't like every coach. You know what I mean? But you like the head coach. I love the head coach. Jack McNell was awesome. But it was time to go because we weren't winning. And then you're sitting there going, oh, my gosh, what are we doing? And then here comes, you know, the firestorm they call Tom Coughlin kicking our butts and stuff. But, you know, and then we're like, oh, man, did we really want this coaching change? I'm just kidding. He ran us to death that first winter. I never puked so much in my life. It was unbelievable. Just unbelievable. But, yeah, you know, so you do feel bad, you know, but then you'll start feeling like, okay, now, hey, it is a business. Time to move on. Let's see now I got to take care of what I got to take care of. Be ready. And then hopefully I match, you know, or mesh well with the coach.
All right, halfway home. If you're on the line, stay there. We'll get to you coming up at 641-1010 on the Garber Automall phone lines. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Follow the JU Dolphins on 1010XL.
The Dolphins head to Eastern Kentucky to conquer the Colonels in an ASUN showdown. JU Eastern Kentucky. Tomorrow at 4 on 1010 AM.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but also incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744. Hey, and if you mention Mia or Helmets and Heels, you'll qualify for free base molding. Call today or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Come on, admit it. Almost everyone you know seems to be playing pickleball now, right? So whether you just want to learn how to play or you're ready to show off your elite pickleball skills, the Y is the place for you. Visit our brand new McGuire Family Pickleball Center at the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach. 5 top quality outdoor courts and 3 amazing indoor courts where you can learn about dinks, dillball, falafel, the kitchen, and more pickleball slang at the Y.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Hey gang, Prosser here, and I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Lifetime Enclosures right now running an awesome special for January. Get a complete enclosure done, get free flooring. Now that can save you some money. If you just need flooring, Lifetime Flooring also running a buy one room, get the second room free. Once again, only for January. Now offering flooring coating as well. So give them a call. I know I did. Visit their showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Rev up your life with luxury at Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard. Right now, used car prices are 12% lower than their peak in April of 2022, making this the perfect time to drive home in a dream car. Specializing in luxury used vehicles, offering you elegance at prices that are finally coming back down to earth. See special listings in the newspaper every Saturday or online at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Guess what? We love rugs. We'll treat your fine Oriental rugs with tender, loving care they deserve. How about Gerard, the Zero Res rug cleaning manager, one of the few certified master rug cleaners in the state of Florida? If you want your rugs cleaned with tender, loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, have one rug washed and we'll wash a second rug free. That's right, buy one, the second one on me. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by USA Park Airport Parking. Florida Gator men's basketball will take on another tough opponent when they face Arkansas Saturday afternoon. Head coach Todd Golden sees this year's SEC as one of the best.
This is the best basketball conference in close to college basketball history, definitely over the last decade.
Hear the game live on 1010XL AM, starting with the pregame at 3:30. Georgia quarterback Carson Beck, after previously announcing that he was declaring for this year's NFL draft, is now expected to enter the NCAA transfer portal. Beck, a Jacksonville native, according to ESPN, Miami is the favorite to land him. In the East Coast Hockey League, the Jacksonville Icemen will face off against the Atlanta Gladiators this evening at home. Puck drops at 7 p.m. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
At 10:58, it's 57 degrees. Time at 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler, Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right. You got your choice. Sweet potato pie or shut your mouth, Tommy. Song of the South. It's not the choice in the song, but I'm giving you that choice.
Heard those will be on Dad Bods this weekend.
What song was that?
Song of the South. You never heard Song of the South, Sweet Potato Pie, and a Shut My Mouth? It's just,
I don't know if I have. I thought that's why I was like, I thought that sounded like Shania Twain. I'm like, my girls listen to that song all the time.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Just trying to riff off of the lyrics.
I'll go with Sweet Potato Pie. And then shut
there
your
you
damn
go.
mouth.
Right, sweet potato pie. Shut your mouth while you're chewing it.
Yeah.
And then have another piece of sweet potato pie.
Oh, I love sweet potato
Do
pie.
you?
Yeah.
I'm not a sweet potato guy.
Souffle? Oh, I love sweet potatoes.
No, not really. For me, that's fine. You do you. Somebody asked on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, do you know why Josh Hines-Allen missed the last game other than personal reasons? Well, that's why he missed, personal reasons. And they don't have to tell us. They probably, they might not.
No idea. I have no idea. I hope he's okay.
I do too. I don't know the answer to that. Somebody also pointed out that Trevor said he heard about the firing of Doug Peterson from the news, that doesn't mean he's shocked that it happened to me. It means he wasn't given a heads up that, hey, I'm about to announce this. I think the owner has to give him that heads up. But if Trevor Lawrence is not oblivious, he had to know that this was a distinct possibility.
4-13 usually means something.
Right.
You know, I mean, somebody's head is going to roll after 4-13.
Right, and what, 5 of the last
22 or whatever,
right?
23.
So
Yeah.
it's been bad.
They know. They know it could have come.
Anyway, we're just getting in the weeds here a little bit. All right, so 641-1010. If you'd like to get on board, Joe on the west side would like to do that, so let's see what's on his mind. What's up, Joe?
Yeah, I was just wondering, I mean, everybody's focusing right now on Doug Peterson getting let go and whatnot, but in the background of this whole thing, you've got Trevor going into another system. How many years how many throwaway years is he going to have to start his career? You know, we have one with Urban Meyer, another when Doug came here. He had the one good season where, you know, they're getting into the playoffs and they pull off some surprising wins, but I don't know if I guess the new guy needs to be on board. Otherwise, you know, bundle him up in a trade and get some first-round picks. I don't know if that's where I'm at with Trevor at this point.
That's not happening.
They're not trading Trevor.
Whoever comes on, takes the job is obviously going to be on board with Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
And hopefully they're going to create a system that is even more beneficial. Just because it's a change doesn't mean it can't be better.
Right.
Right? I mean, look, I don't know what exactly Jaden Daniels was running at LSU compared to what he was running with Washington.
Yep.
But his first year in the league, he seemed to take off fine under Cliff Kingsbury, right?
Yep.
I mean, Sam Darnold took off under Kevin O'Connell. Now, is it similar to what the concepts were that he was, you know,
doing
exposed
before
to in Los Angeles?
Right.
Maybe so. But, I mean, sometimes that change is actually the precipitating event that lets you take off and finally fulfill your potential.
No, absolutely. So I'm not worried about that. And the Doug's years aren't throwaway years for Trevor. I mean, this year with the injuries and all that. But, look, you know, some of it was really good. So he learned a lot. You know, he's going to learn from all those experiences that they went through, you know, as a player and as a team.
There's probably always a transition. You got to learn new terminology and things like that. But
sometimes year 1 to year 2, even with the same coordinator, you don't get better.
That's right.
Stroud is not better.
No, he's not.
They didn't change anything.
Right. No, right.
Right. Like, he's just not as good as he was as a
figured him
rookie.
out.
Right. Like, those kind of things happen, too. So, you know, even with the rookies that we're seeing that are impressing this year, we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, what it looks like in year 2. I'm pretty confident that those guys are going to be fine.
Right.
You know, going forward. But we don't know. Time will tell on all those kind of things. And it's the argument for – it was the best argument for why it should have been both. If it was going to be either, it should have been both.
Agreed.
That you could get everything in alignment, no questions about it. This is the direction we're going. Everything is together in this plan going forward. Keeping Balky at least opens up the questions of how aligned is everything. I'm not sure. Whatever the new head coach is going to be, I'm obviously rooting for them to get it figured out and support Trevor Lawrence and get him to take a major step forward. But you're always going to have that. Does Balky affect that? Like, that question's always going to be in your mind until it's not.
Yeah, and listen, knowing how coaches think, they're all sitting there going, let me get my hands on Trevor.
Yeah.
Let me, whatever happened
particularly
before.
with Ben Johnson. I mean, that's been the rumor mill.
Whatever's happened before, I don't care. Let me get my hands on him. I'll build an offense around him, and we'll make this thing work.
All right, so appreciate the call. I mean, it's a valid question, but it's not a major concern for me. I'm hoping that I want the change. Right? I mean, let's get a change, even if it takes a little bit of learning and you know, some trial and error in terms of that kind of, you know, terminology and whatnot. Yeah, that ultimately you're playing to his strengths.
One thing I'll give shot. I mean, he maybe got it from Trent, but you look at their offense. I mean, think about it: run and pass. How many successful plays? Maybe 8 or 10. You know, they seem to run the same pass plays that worked. They you know, sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't. You know, the run plays kind of, I don't know. You know, like how many various
here's the
different
question,
plays.
though, too. If you've got a team that is committing so many stupid motion penalties, pre-snap penalties, were you forced to dumb it down and simplify it and say, okay, guys, I guess we can only run this?
Possibly.
Because you guys can't even get the damn snap off when we get a first down in the red zone. And you know what I mean? Like,
you're talking like my kind of coach, Mike. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm just wondering.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know that that's a fact, but I don't think you can rule it out completely.
I mean, the fact that they kept blowing it with pre-snap
right? And so when you do that, what wouldn't you as a coach, Tom, you would have probably been in that circumstance. And do they say, all right, forget all this extra stuff. We got to nail the nuts and bolts of this. And if we don't get this, then we can't add anything more to it.
Well, and I heard what Lageman was saying, too. He's like, look, the other part of it, if you got 10 plays and you're really good at them and they can't stop you, well, that's a good thing, right? So we don't have that either.
Right. Like
we don't have any of those.
Against Buffalo back in the 90s. Like, you knew what was coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a handful of plays, and you couldn't stop it because the personnel was so good and the execution was so good. So, anyway, let's go to Steve in Atlanta up next here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Steve. Steve, you there? All right.
3-2-1.
3-2-1 gone. All right. 641-1010 if you want to jump in. I don't know what happened with Steve right there.
Snowing up there in Atlanta. Who knows? Yeah.
Is it up in Atlanta?
Is it really?
Yeah, this morning they had snow on the ground up
I had
there.
a friend in Dallas who was supposed to fly out this morning, and they were very concerned about the polar vortex was supposed to hit at like 5:30 a.m. or something like that.
Listen, when the Super Bowl was there,
he said it's exactly like
I
that.
took the RV and we went the wrong way. We were stuck in traffic and ice traffic forever. Spinner was driving, thank goodness, because I would have crashed that.
Donna Murphy was our designated driver that week. You know, a bit. Not that we were drinking, but it was black ice on the road.
It's brutal.
And truly, when you get, because they weren't prepared for it.
No,
you go up north and you get that, they're gonna salt the road or whatever they do, and they know how to deal with it.
Yep.
And they didn't have any rock salt, anything like that, and so. Truly, and whatever road it was a highway, you were driving down towards the convention center, wherever it was, like every 100 yards, there was another car that had driven off the road. Like not just parked, like into the ditch.
Yeah.
One after another,
I know.
We were crawling along less than 10 miles an hour.
Banging against like semis, going like 2 miles an hour because the ice and shred spinners like holding out of the wheel. I took a nap.
Yikes.
But,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get it back going. We got the phone lines reinvigorated here. Steve in Savannah is up next. Steve, good morning.
Great town.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? You know, it's been a crazy Monday through Thursday as we've all had to digest this information from Shad Khan. But you know what? I think maybe he has learned. You know, Shad Khan really has been listening if we think about it. We all asked, we said, hey, we want a new stadium. He says, hey, let's get that done. Then we say, hey, this season we don't like what we're seeing. Let's get some new coaches in here. He fires Doug. He says, let's start to get some interviews of some people in here who's a little bit more experienced with maybe with what we want. And now, even though we look at it on the surface and we say he's keeping Trent Baalke in place, in reality, no, he's not. He's slowly trying to transgress to something, but he needs somebody to bring him an idea of what that something is. Right now, he understands that the one thing he has learned through his ownership in his early years is that the one thing that this team has lacked is a culture, because the culture is set by consistent standards on collateral level. From coaching to front office. When he became the owner, he was basically given the remains of nothing. Nothing was left from the Coughlin regime to help him. So he had to build it from scratch. And the only person he has learned to trust is Baalke. And until someone comes through that building and gives him an idea of a better structure, as he was quoted to say, just a few days ago, it's nothing else he can do but do what he is doing.
All right. Thanks, Steve. I couldn't disagree with that almost more than I do. Yeah. First of all, I don't think the public was clamoring for a new stadium. The owners want new stadiums because they're new revenue streams. Right. That's where that's
and
coming
the pressure
from. We can't stay here economically and continue to play in this stadium.
The public was clamoring for the team to stay.
Right.
Yes. And if the new stadium is the price to be paid for that, the public is willing to pay.
That's what it was saying. I didn't hear any fans going, man, can't believe we're playing in the stadium. At least that was my experience.
No.
As far as, so he responded, we wanted a new coach. the bigger outcry was we wanted a new GM by far. If he was responding to what the fans wanted, he did the complete opposite.
He did, for sure.
So I don't, by the way, he's owned the team for a long time. Whatever he inherited, he's had a chance to change that drastically. He's poor Shad. What's he going to do? Look at what he took over. That was how many freaking years ago?
Can't stop fans from holding out hope that Shad Khan's saying that he's waiting to hear the ideas of the people they're going to interview in this process and keeping things open. Like, for the fans that want to hold on to that being, all right, maybe Balky still can be let go of. And it does feel like there are fans that want to hold on to that as look, he's going to hear something from somebody that I'm not working with. This guy, Trent's out. Like, there are fans that are holding on to that hope. Hold on to it if you want. I'm not.
No, I'm not either. And for the record, Coughlin was done in 2003.
Right.
He bought the team in 12 or 11. Like
I don't know what one had to do with the
nothing to do with it.
So, and it's not the structure of the front office. What's wrong with the structure? You got a GM, which is the case for 95%. I mean, it's the same structure that most teams have, right? You got a GM and a staff under him that does player evaluation. Sometimes you have the coach have final say on personnel. Sometimes it's a GM or what. So from that standpoint, fine. But in terms of, it's not like when I heard Shad say that the other day, someone can convince me of a new structure that's better. I'm thinking that's such a red herring, man. Like we're not asking for a new structure. We're asking for a new decision maker, a new GM, same structure, different guy executing the job to a higher level. That's what we're asking for.
Yeah, exactly. So, and if he was paying attention, he would have done the opposite.
Right. And I'm not saying he has to answer to the fans on every whim that the fans have either. But if you're going to make the claim that he's responding to the fans because they got a new stadium and they fired Doug Peterson.
I may not listen to the fans either as the owner, but I would be talking to a lot more people than he's talking to.
Well, I may or may not on any given decision, but if you're going to make that claim, that you got to have some evidence to back that up.
Of course.
I haven't seen that. Let's get Thomas out at the beaches next up. Hello, Thomas.
Hey there. I just want to know what you guys' thoughts are on ETN. We're going to keep him. What do you think about that? And best guess for what coach we would have next. I'll take your answer off.
I mean, you know the candidates. That's. What do you think? How are they going to interview? What are they going to be interested? Is Ben Johnson really going to draw a line in the sand on Trent Baalke? I don't know. I'm sure Ben Johnson's very high on their wish list.
They got a lot of candidates. It looks like they're interviewing.
They are. My guess is it won't be Ben Johnson as the next head coach. That's just my guess.
You think about to me, like Todd Monken and Kellen Moore. I don't feel that at all. You know what I mean? I mean, I know they got, they're good offensive coordinators. Todd Monken has a pretty good
track record as an offensive mind, So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that does it for me, I guess.
Yeah, but would Kevin O'Connell have done it for you 3 years ago?
I don't know. Where did he come from anyway? I have no idea.
He was working with McVay, I believe, in L.A.
Out in L.A.
Right. So.
Come from that tree, I guess.
And maybe he would have, excited you or whatever, but. He's turned out to be. It doesn't always have to be the guy like Doug Peterson. I was like, we got a Super Bowl winning coach, and then they win the division right away, win a playoff game. We thought we were headed in the right direction.
You could say that about every candidate.
Sure, but as
even
time
Ben Johnson, you'd be like, well, it may not work. I mean, it may not.
As time has gone on, I think Kevin O'Connell is very
good.
I mean, look what he's done with Sam Darnold. Wouldn't you like to get his hands on
and their attitude? I think his GM and him work well together. I think that's part of the issue, man.
There's no question about it. All right, Matt on the west side before we hit the break. Matt, thank you for the call. What's up?
What's up, fellas? Hope you're having a good morning, a new year. I just had a quick question, man. I mean, I know our defense was horrible this year, but I mean, with all the the 3 and outs and the amount of time that the defense spends on the field, I mean, how much could we expect out of our defense, considering that they were basically covering for the offense's mistakes a lot as well? And, I mean, I know we look at the defense as bad. Obviously, it's the worst in the league. I'm not trying to defend them. But when you leave them on the field, as long as they did, I mean, don't they run out of gas? I guess I'll take your answer off the phone. Thanks a lot.
All right, appreciate it. How many times did they open up the game by not getting off the field? They weren't tired to start the game.
Right, like 17-play drive.
Game.
I know.
And how that crap offense dominated the ball against this defense in the first half. They weren't tired. Second week of the year, and what are we doing?
That's all excuses right there.
Yeah, no one was helping anybody. No. Offense wasn't helping defense. Defense wasn't helping offense. Definitely. And neither were playing well enough to make any kind of impact for the other.
A better offense, yes, would help your defense because you get in more obvious pass rush situations and things like that, right? But, hey, oh, by the way, you are winning when Travis Etienne fumbles. You're up by 10. How about not giving up an 80-yard touchdown on the very next play? Were you tired?
Thank you. Right, yeah.
I mean, so
tired.
Yes, they stayed on the field a lot because they couldn't get off the field.
Right. We forgot the last caller about Etienne. I'd keep Travis. I like him.
They've already picked up the fifth-year option. Okay, that's guaranteed.
He's here for a year.
Yeah.
Right. He's going to be here.
I like him.
Now, new coaching staff may look in and say, we're not going to invest in this guy long-term beyond this next year because, I mean, what is economically, get a running back who pops in the third round.
Yep.
I mean, that's really the way to go. I'm not saying this year you had a great free agent class with running backs, right? But you had outstanding, proven season-over-season performers who went to good teams with generally good offensive lines, and they took advantage of it. So I'm not saying you can't invest in the running back position. Travis Etienne has not shown me that he's worthy of some 4-year extension for.
Well, I wouldn't extend him yet either. No, I want to see him another year for sure. He's got to get better on. He got a little bit better on picking up the blitz, but he also failed a couple times. I like to see him more in the passing game. And I'll be honest, I like Tank, but Tank fumbles, and Tank's got to quit fumbling. I know there wasn't a ton of fumbles this year, but one too many for my taste.
All right, we'll come back. More of your calls on the other side at 641-1010 if you want to weigh in. Your thoughts on Jaguar football as it stands. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. The NBA is on 1010XL.
Paolo Banchero returns to the Magic to face Damian Lillard in the Bucks tonight at 7 on 1010 a.m.
The Jacksonville Icemen are back home this Friday and Saturday for Lizard Kings weekend. The Icemen throw it back to the 90s and pay tribute to the Lizard Kings by wearing special themed jerseys and a Lizard King bobblehead giveaway for the first 1,000 fans for Saturday's game. So relive your days from the Reptilian Pavilion Friday and Saturday at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Game time 7 o'clock. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksIceman.com or call 904-602-POP. Iceman Hockey is #Frozen Frenzy.
D1 Training East Jacksonville invites you to their mega NFL football camp at the Bowl School February 1st from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Ages 7 through 16. Get hands-on coaching from former NFL players at every single station. The coaches lineup put together by Connor and Sam at D1 is proudly sponsored by Tim Tebow. To sign up, call 904-901-6470.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and this month I want to talk to you about welcoming the winds of change in your life. But so often, when we see the winds of change coming our way, our immediate response is to fight it. Friends, when you see things in your life changing, when the winds of change are coming your way, don't fight it, but embrace it. Recognize that God is stirring you up so that you too can soar like an eagle.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
the 1010XL restaurant of the day.
Moss Fire Grill in Riverside. Happy hour 3 to 7 with drafts, margaritas, and handcrafted bites starting at only $5. Moss Fire Grill.
See you on the rooftop.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
If you know about artificial turf, you know it needs to be done right. Lauren Brooks here from my friends at Sunshine Turf, a family-owned company that will transform your outdoor space into the oasis of your dreams. A putting green, a pet run, a maintenance-free yard. Trust me, the team at Sunshine Turf are the experts you need to transform your lawn. With the highest quality products and budget-friendly pricing, get clean, low-maintenance synthetic grass by visiting sunshineturf.info or call 904-383-0243 to get a free quote today from Sunshine Turf.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait, but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners. So you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. RJ Saunders here with 1010XL, and okay, how about sending just one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it.
What state boasts the highest average life expectancy? The answer in scant seconds.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to ask your agent about your homeowner's coverage. It's time to make the change to Southern Oak Insurance.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Hawaii has the highest life expectancy at 80 years. Conversely, Mississippi has the lowest at 72.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Tailgate special alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, we continue along here on this Friday. Tom McManus. Tommy Mack will be here with us every Friday. Well, most Fridays.
Most Fridays.
Throughout the off season. Things come up.
I got to miss a Friday.
We take vacation.
I
See,
forgot
here
to
you
tell
go.
you off the air. Yeah.
Right away. Right.
24th.
Right out of the gates.
I'll tell you off the air, though. I got a actually.
You just told me right now.
I got a speaking engagement. Cheever hired me for his real estate company up in Atlanta. So going
2
up there.
weeks from today.
Yes. Right.
Excellent. All right.
I'll give you a note. I know you like to know
you don't
early.
Need, no, you've
okay, so that's going to go. You're going to log that in.
Lock it in there, Dylan.
Lock
I'll send reminders because I will not remember.
All right. Usually we do confidence picks at this time.
That's right.
And we did them last week. And here is how the final tally has gone down for the season.
So excited.
Tommy, you went 13-3 last week.
Did I really?
You did. You're good for 105 points, as a matter of fact. You missed Green Bay and Minnesota up high, and you missed Jacksonville down low, and you hit everything in the middle. So that was good.
Okay.
Tony went 11-5 last week.
Oh.
And he was good for 103 points.
Oh.
On the week. Missed Green Bay up on the 13-point line. Mm-hmm. I went 9-7 last week.
Really?
Yes. Missed my last 4 on the bottom end, but really it all came down to Carolina and Atlanta.
12, yeah.
Overtime game. Tony got it. I didn't. Tony wins the season.
There we go.
But listen to the total.
Yeah.
1,450 to 1,448.
Oh. Wow.
That's what it was for the whole season.
So cool.
I outpicked Tony by 2 games, but that's not the contest.
Right.
Tom came in third with 1,294 on the year.
Respectable.
So
almost
there you
1,300
go.
points,
Congrats,
baby.
Tony Smith.
And
your
how
first
about
Picks
a
champion.
good week on show contests. I won the
He
breakfast,
won the breakfast bowl and the confidence
Way to
picks.
go, Tom.
He is cleaning
Your New
up.
Year's off to a good
Cleaning
start.
up. He was hoping I'd get fired on Monday along with Doug Peterson, but
Oh.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
That's a good song.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Yes, it is.
Oh, Meatloaf.
I always wanted to play in a fantasy league with Meatloaf. The word was he was
I remember hearing that.
cutthroat, just amazing fantasy football
Wow.
guy. So into it.
Yeah.
Scott Ian of Anthrax is like his son-in-law, or was his
Okay.
son-in-law.
Yeah.
And he would come on our show sometimes and talk about Meatloaf's prowess at fantasy football. It was always a bucket list thing for me to play against.
Oh, that'd have been
Didn't
cool.
get the chance.
Yeah.
but,
Yeah. Well,
you know.
rest in peace.
That's the way it goes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get Taylor in Arlington next year on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Taylor.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Love your show. I call in every chance I get. I just wanted to touch on a couple things. I just wish that Shad Khan somebody could go up to him and say, hey, do you just not understand, what's going on? Trent Baalke, he just makes terrible decisions. 31 out of 32 teams would have drafted Aiden Hutchinson. We draft Trayvon Walker. It's not his fault he got drafted where he did. Just Trent Baalke makes bad decisions. Then we have Travis Etienne. Next year we draft Hank Bigsby. Then we bring in Foye Oluokun, and then we draft Devin Lloyd, and then we draft Trad Muma. It just doesn't make any sense. His best decisions he's done is he's brought in Christian Kirk, who thankfully has worked out for us. But when you want to look back on the free agency market, that's when Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill were available, and we got Christian Kirk. When was the last time the Jags brought in a playmaker where we went, holy cow, I can't believe we got this guy to come to Jacksonville? And I just wish Shad Khan, is there nobody that says, hey, do you not see what he does here? Do you understand that we signed Evan Ingram to a huge contract, and then we draft Brenton Strange in the second round? I just don't get it. But I'll take your comments off the air, guys. Love your show.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Look, I can understand some of those critiques. I have no problem drafting Devin Lloyd.
Yeah.
But doubling down and getting Chad Muma
That makes sense.
Is another thing.
Right.
I have no problem taking Tank Bigsby even with – you need more than one back.
Right. Or Strange. I like Strange, too.
They've got to turn out to be better players than they've been, though. And the Muma pick was head-scratching from the
For a lot
moment
of
it
people.
happened,
Yep.
right? And so – but here's the thing. Nobody here has the pipeline to Shad Khan. He doesn't – we don't run in those circles. We don't have the access.
Shake him up.
But here's the thing: if Shad Khan doesn't understand by now that Aiden Hutchinson would have been the consensus pick for almost every team at the top of that draft, I don't know what. I got to presume he knows that, right? And that because during that process. If you're even semi-aware of what's going on, you've got the number one pick. Hey, what are we going to do here, guys? I know we were doing last year because we needed the quarterback and we got him. Yep. What are we doing here? Okay, well, I got to think that he's saying, well, what about this other guy that everyone's – and Trent Baalke told him, here's why his arms are a centimeter too short and we can't go that direction. I mean, I'm exaggerating the point here.
I know.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that is part of the whole process. Who does Shad Khan rely on for advice, right? I mean, we could go up to him and he'd probably be like, yeah, whatever, right? Whomever that happens to be. Not that I have the opportunity to just walk up to Shad Khan very often and talk to him. But when he gets asked on Monday who his sounding boards are, he went right to Doug Peterson, who he just had fired a couple hours earlier. And then he said the coordinators.
Right.
Who, how long have you known Ryan Nielsen?
Right.
Less than a year. I mean, it's ludicrous.
Yeah.
So who is there to tell him this that he trusts? For whatever reason, he has put his trust in Trent Baalke.
Yep.
And
I think Tony's involved.
To
a
what
certain
degree, though? Tony's running multiple companies.
I know.
Tony's running
So is
soccer.
his
He's
dad.
running AEW. I understand. Right, but that's part of it, right? So it's not like Tony's here at the Miller Electric Center.
No, I know.
5 days a week, grinding on what the Jags are going to do.
Yeah. Well, I think, I wouldn't be surprised if Tony doesn't have some kind of role with his dad.
I would be shocked if Tony was not aware enough, just in general, about some of the general, attitude towards Trent Baalke, the selection, the Aiden Hutchinson versus Trayvon Walker debate. I think Tony seems like a smart, savvy enough guy.
Yeah.
How much is Shad relying on that? I don't know.
I'm in the minority, and I do think Aiden Hutchinson's a great player, but I really like Trayvon Walker.
I like him too.
I really do.
Aiden Hutchinson has been a better player than Trayvon. I don't think there's any question if you compare them side by side.
Yeah.
I mean,
one was more of a project than the other. I mean, he was a project.
Trayvon. Right. Okay.
I'm just saying, it's maybe, who knows, maybe by year 4, they're about
3 years
the same.
in,
I don't know.
Trayvon had, 10, what did he end up
10 and a half.
10 and a half.
Yeah, so.
All right, Aiden Hutchinson had 6.5 through 5 weeks.
Yeah.
What do you think he would have ended up with? 20?
Maybe.
I mean, that's the pace he was on.
Maybe, but that doesn't always.
Doesn't always, but he also gets turned. I mean, look, he's just.
I know. I'm not. he's a great player.
Again, that's
I'm
not
saying he's not
to
a
crap
great
on Trayvon. Trayvon's a really good player. Shouldn't have been the number 1 pick in the draft. Period. I mean, I don't know how that's even debatable.
If he didn't go number
arguable.
1, would he have gone number 2?
No, not according to most of the draft pundits. He would have been a middle of the first round guy for most.
Middle of the first round.
Yes,
like 16, 17, right on there.
That's what the people were saying at the time. Maybe could have really.
I don't think I remember hearing that.
Could have been maybe a top 10 pick. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. There were plenty of draft pundits that had him ranked much further outside the top 10. So.
I mean,
I'm not saying he would have been in the middle of round 2. Well, sure you can, right?
Yeah.
But Aiden Hutchinson, by the way, wasn't maxed out. He was on pace to be the defensive player of the year this year if he had kept that pace up. Now, would he have? I don't know.
Right. Maybe
Can't
not.
say
no.
And he breaks his leg, and that can happen, you know. Anyway, let's take our final time out here. Let's come back. Question of the day has to do with looking ahead at the wild card round of the playoffs, and that's out there. So let's talk about the games a little bit, what we expect to have go down this weekend as we sit here with envy, wishing the Jaguars were among those.
Doubt.
Actually, I wish the Jaguars were on a bye this week, but you get the idea.
That's right.
We'll come back and wrap things up here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You got a goal to lose weight? Maybe it was your New Year's resolution. It doesn't have to start on January 1st. Whenever you're ready to begin, Awaken 180 is sitting there waiting for you, knowing that they've got the solution for so many people that has worked for over 23,000 clients over the years with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. And over 98% satisfaction rating. The weight will start to fall off once you follow their methodology. It's all about what you eat, when you eat, how often you eat, the timing of it. It turns your body into a fat-burning machine. There's no exercise required. There are no injections, no medications that you're going to have to stay on indefinitely. Awaken 180 is a proven system, and once you hit your goal weight, they offer you free coaching and support for life. It's been the backbone of their program for over 10 years now. So get on board by going online to awaken180weightloss.com and scheduling your free consultation. Change your life in 2025 with Awaken 180.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Start the new year with a fresh look for your home. It's the Renewal by Anderson New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% off on our energy-efficient windows and patio doors designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and your energy bills down. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation. But hurry, the special New Year's offer won't last. License number CGC 1527613.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sunny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Bernardino Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Bernardino Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Homeowners, listen up. It's time to start fresh in 2025. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto is here to help take control of your finances in 2025 by lowering your house payments and consolidating that nagging debt. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Right now, Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans, starting in the low 5s APR. If your current rate is over 6%, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're in process with another lender, call Loan Pronto now. Lock in at a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. You can even skip your next 2 house payments. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Get your personalized Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees. Call now, 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
If your high school student is a high performer, they could be 1010XL Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Wednesdays on The Franchi Show.
On 1010XL.
Find Florida Gators basketball on 1010XL. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Florida Gators. And by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance. But Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, rolling lot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Quarterback Trevor Lawrence acknowledged his bias and what he would like to see in the next head coach.
Obviously, I'm biased. I'm an offensive guy, I'm a quarterback. It sounds great having a young offensive coach that can bring the system in and that we can just grow together. And
former Jag and Hall of Famer Tony Baselli remarked on the fans holding the players accountable.
And who needs to be also included in this accountability, and it's the players. Should hold them accountable too.
Tampa Bay quarterback Baker Mayfield weighed in on his OC Liam Cohen's interests in the Jaguars head coaching vacancy.
Public knowledge, he's getting the interview for the Jacksonville job, but it's going to come down to a one-on-one at Sawgrass for him to decide whether he actually takes the interview.
At your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguar Update, I'm Sam Nelson.
XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, we'll take a look at the wild card weekend matchups here momentarily. But before we get there, Tony's going to take us around the rest of the National Football League.
Now, gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
The Las Vegas Raiders have fired general manager Tom Telesco. Tyreek Hill's agent Drew Rosenhaus told the Pat McAfee show yesterday that Hill is committed to the Miami Dolphins after pulling himself out of their game on Sunday, saying, "I'm out, bro," in the locker room after the game and meeting with Dolphins GM and Chris Greer and head coach Mike McDaniel over the course of the week, but it sounds like he's at least willing to go back to Miami. Philadelphia wide receiver A.J. Brown did not practice on Thursday after being limited on Wednesday. He is still expected to be able to play tomorrow. They have not cleared Jalen Hurts from the concussion protocol officially yet, but he was a full participant in practice yesterday there for the Eagles. Baltimore wide receiver Zay Flowers has been ruled out for their wild card game this weekend with a knee injury that he suffered last week. Here is the wild card weekend schedule. The LA Chargers at Houston tomorrow at 4:30 on CBS and Paramount Plus. Tomorrow night, the Pittsburgh Steelers are at Baltimore at 8 o'clock on Amazon Prime. On Sunday, a triple header with Denver at Buffalo at 1 o'clock, the first of those. CBS and Paramount Plus for that one. Green Bay at Philadelphia, 4:30 on Fox. Washington at Tampa at 8 o'clock on NBC and Peacock on Sunday night. And then Monday, we'll have Minnesota at the LA Rams, but not in LA. They've moved that game to Arizona with all the wildfire stuff that they're dealing with there in Southern California right now.
All right, thank you, Tony. I was wrong. Aiden Hutchinson had 7.5 sacks in 5 games this year. I said 6.5.
Yep.
My bad for underselling Aiden Hutchinson there.
Games for
you know, a lot of people defending Trayvon right now on the text line. Look, nobody's saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's not as good.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. And then somebody started, Trayvon has 40 more career run stop tackles than.
How about TFLs?
He also played a lot more games this year because he had a broken leg. Tackles for loss.
I'm just curious.
You tell me, Tom. What do you think?
You mean comparative?
Yeah. Who's got more? It's very close.
I'm going to say Trayvon's got it.
It's Hutchinson by 2.
Okay.
And, you know, he's played in, let's see, Trayvon's played in 49 games and Hutchinson has played in 39 games. Okay. So
I don't even understand why this is still a
it's not
debate.
A debate. It shouldn't
right?
be a debate.
Anymore. I mean, Aiden's the better player between the two of them at this point in their careers. Maybe Trayvon will catch him, but at some point he'll have to catch him if he's going to get on that same level. Aiden's the better player between the two, and that's okay. Trayvon is a good player.
Yeah.
Right? Like they didn't pick the better player with the number 1 pick, but he's a good player.
Is he a better pass rusher or is he a better all-around player?
He's a better all-around player.
Aiden's a better all-around player.
In my opinion, I think he's both.
That's cool.
I think he impacts the game way more than Trayvon does.
Fair enough.
All right, let's move off that. Let's get to matchups this week. First, let's look at our question of the day. Today, we asked you in poll form. I went with the 4 closest matchups based on the betting lines, okay? And which of these underdogs has the best chance to win outright? In other words, not just cover the spread. Right? Rams are getting 2.5 against Minnesota. It was 1.5, and now they moved the game out of L.A. Washington is getting 3 at Tampa Bay. Houston is getting 3 hosting the L.A. Chargers. And Green Bay is getting 5 against Philadelphia on the road. The other ones are bigger spreads. So, Tony, which one do you think is the best opportunity to win?
Man, I probably would have picked the Rams if the game was in L.A. I do think it being moved to Arizona has an impact on even what to do with that game. I'll say Washington over Tampa.
I think Tampa's going to slay that secondary. I think Jaden Daniels might play well. I think Tampa's going to win that game.
Like, I don't think Green Bay's doing anything.
I wonder, like, Jag fans voting on this, obviously, right? 5% say Houston. Is that because of your – like, and I get Houston hasn't looked as good.
Yeah.
I feel like they're being it's almost universal. Everyone thinks, oh, the Chargers are going to go to Houston and win that football game.
It's been assumed whoever the 5 seed was going to beat Houston for about a month now.
Right. They can still rush the passer.
Yeah.
Right? They still got Joe Mixon and Nico Collins.
Yeah.
And
they're the only one of those at home.
The
Rams are not really
the Rams
at home.
are not technically at home. That's correct. Tom, for you, who's the most likely to win outright out of those?
I was going to go Commanders, but I'll go with the Rams.
Yeah, I'd probably still go the Rams.
I'm going to go the Rams.
Here.
You know? I mean, they're both, well, I shouldn't say both, but the Rams going through a lot off the field. It's a lot to deal with, family. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just everything. So, But I still think they'll come together. And I like the Vikings. I like O'Connell. But if I'm the Rams, I'm studying whatever Detroit did to Sam Darnold and copying that and trying to see if that helps.
Look, I don't think Washington can't win.
No,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's the most likely. By the way, there's been, I heard the stat, in the 46 years since they've had the wild card round, there's been at least one upset in 40 out of those 46 years.
Okay.
So you can figure one team that is right now at a disadvantage from the odds makers will at least one will pull it out.
It seems like there's one blowout every wild card weekend, doesn't it?
Probably.
Like, and then the divisional, they'll tighten up, because the best of the best.
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, next week is the week.
Who's the blowout? You think Washington, Tampa? I kind of feel like the Chargers have a chance to blow out.
Of those, I would pick Philly.
Philly to blow out the Pack?
Of those games that we had in there,
Hurts is playing, unencumbered.
Because those don't include Baltimore or Buffalo.
Right.
Like they weren't included because they are the big favorites.
I mean, Jordan Love's got an issue with his elbow or his throwing arm.
Yeah.
And they don't have Christian Watson. And I know Christian Watson doesn't always put up big numbers, but their record without Christian Watson is bad. Yeah. Jordan Love's record without Christian Watson is bad because he does change the way defenses have to cover you.
Yeah, absolutely.
He opens things up for other guys here. I tend to agree with you, Tony. I think Philly could win this one comfortably. I could see Tampa Bay, pulling away in the second half of their game as well.
Baltimore's a 9.5-point favorite. Buffalo's an 8.5-point.
I go back and forth on the Bills game. Like, you asked last week, who you picking to win the Super Bowl? I went with Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Denver isn't. I feel like Denver's got nothing at all to lose.
They don't.
In this scenario.
For sure.
They've got a head coach that has been there, done that in the postseason, more so than Sean McDermott has had, success. It's going to be played in apparently some pretty snowy conditions, it looks like, which they're both. I mean, I know Buffalo's used to that, but sometimes that is something that brings teams closer together. Like it hurts the team who has
Denver. They're cold. They're not.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally,
But I'm just saying, like in general, if you're going to play it on a neutral field,
right?
If you feel like Buffalo is the better team, that weather's not going to be a factor. Like if it makes it harder to throw the football, if it makes it, if it's one of those games that just naturally makes it more of a defensive struggle, then you're going to, keep the game closer.
Yeah. I wonder how bad the weather has to be for Josh Allen to not be able to throw a football.
Yeah.
Right? Like that dude's arm is...
His hand covers the whole ball.
Yeah.
But it's still,
it certainly has to have some effect.
Oh, right.
The visibility, the receivers, all that. How much are they impacted?
I feel like he's a little bit on a destiny path, Josh Allen, at least to get to a bigger game. You know what I mean? I think Buffalo's going to beat Denver.
Well, odds
I
are
do too.
He's going to have to beat Baltimore next week.
Yeah, right.
It's... Whew.
Well, remember last year, Mahomes had to go on the road and beat Buffalo and then beat Baltimore, didn't he? On the road last year, didn't Kansas City have to do that?
They were on the road.
Yeah.
So, all right, how many road teams you taking to actually win this week? I'll take the Chargers. Everyone's going to take the Chargers, right? And I'll probably take LA to win at home, albeit on the road, technically, against Minnesota. That one, I think, is the toughest one to handicap this weekend. Wouldn't shock me if the Vikings win, but I'm just going to say the Chargers are the one road team. Anybody else?
I wouldn't add anything to that. Chargers would be the one.
I'm going to throw Chargers and Commanders.
Okay.
I think Jaden Daniels is interesting.
He is. Look, just because other rookie quarterbacks have not fared well in their first season in the playoffs, doesn't mean he can't.
Yeah, he seems pretty heady.
You're going to play against the Tampa Bay team that you can get after him offensively.
That game of all of them feels the most like it's got 35-32 written all over
47-42.
Yeah.
Seriously. All right, let's say hello to Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
All right, Mia O'Brien, what you got on your phone there? What are you, Adam Schefter over here?
I'm not Adam Scheftering, actually. The wonderful Kevin just texted me Ian Rappaport's latest tweet. Mike Loxley is interviewing with the Jets. Like, what? Are they interviewing everyone? Like, I mean, I joked yesterday with Shireen Williams, who we had on Helmets and Heels, kind enough to take some time. I joked with her that my interview was next Thursday, but my goodness. Like, that's the wild goose chase, and that's even wilder than what the Jaguars saw in 2022.
Yeah, Jags are interviewing a lot of guys, so.
But I think, Tommy,
like
it's
10 of them.
But correct. And that's much like they had 12 in 2022, and it's much more you can connect some dots. Certainly there were in 2022, there were some wild cards. I think a lot of those wild cards were in large part due to Trent Baalke trying to find someone who would work with him. The list that we've seen so far from the Jags, A, resonates with what the rest of the league was expecting to be the list of candidates for any opening. And B, it reflects what I think the sentiment at large is in the league, independent of the fact that Trent Baalke is still here. And that's what's interesting because that is different than 2022.
All right, so what's coming up today?
Whole heck of a lot. We are going to start taking a look at some of the other openings around the National Football League. Our tour includes a stop with the aforementioned Jets. Will Parkinson of the Turn on the Jets podcast, a friend of 1010XL, of course, a newsbreaker up there in the New York area. He's going to join us at 1:20. Taylor Dahl has the day off for vacation, and good thing because I think she's still partying from last night for Notre Dame.
All right. Well, enjoy. We'll be listening.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. We've got Mia and Lauren coming your way for the next couple of hours. So I'm going to say Penn State did belong in the playoff. 3-point loss is acceptable to Notre Dame. Probably a 10-point loss is on the edge. Anything more than that, you probably didn't belong in the college football
That's right,
playoff.
at all.
Right?
That's
so
right.
I'll leave on that
Get 'em
note
out of there.
for the weekend. That'll do it. Dad Bods, anything coming up?
No, not till February. February 8th, we're at Iggy's. February 22nd, we are at Ragtime. Tonight, going to the Iceman game, though, so I hope there's a fight on
All
the
right, enjoy. Say hello to Arlie Johnson for all of us
for
there.
sure.
For Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Stick around for Helmets and Heels straight ahead on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the